Hello everyone and welcome to the Super Yacht Captain live stream. This is our first live stream. We've been planning this I've been thinking about it for a while, and we're currently docked here in Italy in a place called Livorno. Who's that? Hello Dan Frost. Currently in Italy, guys. Thanks for the positive feedback. So this is our first Yeah, so guys, sorry, just saying, we are currently in Livorno in Italy. We are getting the boat ready because on Tuesday next week we are heading to Pisa for the winter. So we'll be at the shipyard next to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So yeah, guys, I want to go through a few questions that I'm getting a lot, which is a comment almost every single video that you guys are asking is, if AWOL was to sell, what would happen to the crew and to myself? So as a lot of you might know, the ones that have been following the channel for a while, I've been working for the owner for over 12 years now. So in an ideal world, if AWOL was to sell, he would then look to buy a bigger boat, and then the crew and myself would move on to that bigger boat with the owner. However, if the current owner decides that he doesn't want to buy a bigger boat, which will be very unusual, and I hope he does, then we've got a few options. Either the new owner of AWOL will want to keep us, or we'll be looking for another boat elsewhere. So that's what would happen to the crew and myself. Another question we're getting a bit is the winter plans for AWOL. So we've got a few jobs lined up, a few engineering works to be done. So I'm going to do a lot of engineering video for you guys with Slav, the Sly Dog. We're doing some special coating on the paint to be seen, and we got other jobs. We do a few interior works as well, and then obviously we need some downtime for the crew and myself. So guys, here I am live. So ask your questions away. I'll start answering them. While I'm waiting for the questions, we got some new merchandise. So as a lot of you know, we got a new guy, James, who's doing the yachts what. So I'm hoping you guys are supporting him. He'll be going to the Fort Lauderdale boat show in I think next week or the week after. And so if you're going to Flibs in Fort Lauderdale, then say hello to him. You know, make sure you give him your support, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy the content that we're creating. You know, crew stories, really excited about that, and captain's vlogs, so all going well. When is the shadow boat coming? That's a very good question. The shadow boat, at the moment, there's no news. It's all up in the air at the moment. As soon as I have more information, you guys have more information. What is the biggest ship you are licensed for? That's a good question, Tim. So at the moment, it's 500 gross tons. But in the new year, in January, I'll be sitting an exam that will allow me to captain up to 3,000 gross tons. Did you buy the submarine? No, we haven't bought the submarine yet. It's a bit of quite a big toy. It's quite a big expense. But I just wanted to show you guys the possibilities of the shadow vessel. What costs AWOL for charter? So the charter rates for multi-yacht AWOL, we start at low season at 110,000 euros per week, and high season up to 135,000. But that is just the bare boat and the crew. So everything else is on top. So the food, the fueling, the dockage, any other additional service you need is an additional fee. Hey, I like your videos. Since you're taking the test, is there a new yacht in the future? There possibly might be a new yacht in the future. We're not sure yet. No guests on board at the moment. We've actually finished our last charter of the season. So we're here in Livorno for the weekend, and then heading to Pisa on Tuesday next week for the next 4 or 5 months for the winter. Stabilizer, we have Naiad stabilizers, which are the 0-speed fin stabilizers. Hey Buck, what happened to the competition? The competition, I'm guessing you're thinking about the raffle to to win a week's holiday on board AWOL. So what we wanted to do, guys, is, you know, a lot of us, you know, never get the opportunity to spend a holiday on board a super yacht like this. So we came up with the idea to do a raffle, basically to sell a number of raffle tickets, so to give, you know, people like ourselves the opportunity to spend a week on board. Now the problem is, the idea is great and we really want to do it, is the legalities of it. It's you know, we just put it out there to see if you guys were interested. We got a lot of feedback, a lot of people want to do it, but you know, doing these kind of things when there's kind of like money involved, it's very complicated. You know, we are working on it, but it's going to take a bit of time, so do bear with us on that. How big is the super yacht? So Motor Yacht AWOL is 122 feet or 37 meters. You know, a lot of people have asking me, you know, can we interview the owner of Motor Yacht AWOL? Believe me, I want to, but you know, we need to respect his privacy. He's chosen not to. He is the coolest guy you could ever work for, but he chooses to remain private, which I hope you guys can respect. I can respect that, so I'm not gonna push it unless he comes to me and says, Tris, you know, we can do it now. We should never know. Fingers crossed, one day it might actually happen, guys. Still looking at Inova. We're looking at always at new boats. You know, Inova is a great boat. There's other Explorer yachts out there. I think a good jump up from AWOL would probably be around the 50-55 meter range for the future. Yep, so we'll continue to do videos, guys. Captain's vlog will be up as usual. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that last winter we did a lot of videos about the refit. So this winter we got more works happening, not as big as last winter, but new jobs happening. So probably a lot more videos with Slav, the chief engineer. And we're going to do a few warranty works with the paint, a few repairs. As you know, we did the crash video, so got to do those repairs as well. And yeah, to show you guys, we're going to be some really cool videos coming in a few weeks. Could be going up a very narrow canal. We're going to be towed with two tugboats up a canal to take us to the shipyard. So you guys need to stay tuned and make sure you watch that. Could AWOL cross the Atlantic? So ideally, from a range point of view, AWOL could cross the Atlantic, but I would probably not want to. You probably use a company called Dockwise or Dock Express, which is a specialist yacht transport company. So you basically crane it onto a big long ship and then you ship it over to the States. Oh, Justin, you're also in Livorno. Okay. No, we're not at sea right now. We're docked in the marina in Livorno here in Italy. I will be watching. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate the support. What's your favorite guest? I don't really understand that question, actually. We've had some great guests. I've got one particular family that have come back now twice. I think they'll come back next year from the States. Just really, really lovely people. They just love being on the water and enjoy every moment. And they're very grateful. And we appreciate people like that. Visit. Yeah, Andrea Wolf. Yeah, Italy is a beautiful place. I highly recommend to come and visit. Some great cruising grounds and yachts as well. Shelton from New Zealand. Hello, Shelton. Thank you for joining us. So I won't be coming to the USA this year, but James, who does Yachts What on the channel, will be going to the Fort Lauderdale boat show. So make sure if you are going, keep an eye out for him and, you know, show him some love. Is it Havard? Hello from Norway. Hello there. Come to the Ray Davis says come to the UK. It's a bit cold this time of the year, Ray. Does AWOL go to Norway? I would love to take AWOL to Norway. I think the fjords there are absolutely beautiful. So you never know. It could be possible one day. But I think the reality is, for us, from a charter point of view, the demand in the Med is very high. And at the end of the day, we need to maximize our charter weeks. Is it common for families with children to charter AWOL? From Gemini Bear? Yeah, so the majority of our clientele on board are actually families. You know, we encourage our guests to be families. We don't really want party people on board because we are a family boat, as the owner is a family man, and you know, we've got great facilities for both kids and the adults. Yeah, okay. I will say hello to all the crew. Weeks a year, chartered over well. How many weeks of the year? So, how many weeks of the year we chartered? So, because we're a single season boat, so we only do the Med season, not the Caribbean season. It's a lot less. So this year we did, I think, about 11 weeks of charter plus the owner usage on top of that. If we did the Caribbean season as well, we probably average between 6 and 8 weeks during the Caribbean. So potentially we could do around 18, maybe maximum 20 weeks a year of charter if we did both seasons. Best, worst client moments. Can't really talk about the clients that much, but we'll see. Maybe on a cruise story, I'll tell you guys a bit more about the best experiences with clients and the worst experiences. How do you find the Western Med to the Eastern Med? So you have to say, you know, I've cruised around, you know, I've done Spain, I've done the Balearics, done the south of France, we've done Italy, Sardinia, Corsica, Sicily, Croatia, all over. And I have to say, for me personally, purely from a cruising point of view, Croatia is definitely my favorite cruising grounds. It has so much to offer. There's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of islands, some beautiful anchorages, great places to visit, a lot of history in Croatia, and we always find that all the guests we've had love it there. To use commercial maps. So we use what's called charts, which are produced by the UKHO or Admiralty charts. We actually use a system called ECDIS, which is a digital system which can be used as a primary source of navigation. We have to update our charts from the weekly notices of mariners, as it says, weekly. Why doesn't Ariel do the Caribbean? That's a very good question. It's been a conversation that I've had with the owner a few times and with our central agency. The problem is that it's, you know, if you're going to do the Caribbean and the Med season, ideally you want to have a rotational crew. Otherwise, you're going to burn the crew out too much. And the other thing is, it's quite a strain on the boat, and it's quite a high cost as well. And the owner's just happy keeping it in the Meds for the winter months. And I'm also happy because it gives us some downtime as well. So our central agency is a company in Monaco. So central agent, basically what they do is they do all the marketing for the boat, for the charters. They do all the charter contracts. And our central agency is a company called IYC, and they're based in Monaco. And my central agent manager I work with now for over a decade. She worked with me on my previous boat on Lizzie, and we did the charter with Lizzie. And then when we bought AWOL, became commercial in AWOL, we got her involved, and she's been running AWOL for us. Hi from Puerto Rico. Hola Pedro, bienvenidos. Yeah, so this year actually, from a running point of view with the charters, we've actually more than covered our costs, which is great. But obviously we had the high cost for the refit, which is not included in the annual cost. So these things do cost a lot of money to run. Did the crew get drunk at the crew awards? I have to say I wasn't at the crew awards. I don't think they got too drunk. I was actually in Japan at the time. I was fortunate enough to go there and watch the Rugby World Cup and the Formula One Grand Prix, where some of you might follow my Instagram. I actually managed to meet Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas and Toto Wolff, the guy from Mercedes, amongst other drivers and team principals. It's a great experience. And yeah, no, very proud of the AWOL crew. We took home 4 awards. So Michaela won Best Stew Award, Jason won the Best Deckhand Award, Barbara took home the Chief Officer Award, and David, the chaseboat captain, took home the Newcomer Award. So very happy with that. Thanks for the support, guys. Really appreciate it. Who is the owner of AWOL? Unfortunately, guys, I'm unable to disclose who the owner is. Okay. How much percent, what percent of being a captain is bookkeeping? I would say probably about 90%. It is basically a captain's job is to, you've got three responsibilities as captains really, is to ensure the safety of the vessel, ensure the safety of the environment, and to ensure the safety of the people on board. And then from there, it's all kind of like subdivisions that you have to work down. And we run a system which is called ISM, which is the International Safety Management, which basically it's an implementation of a safety management system. So of all tasks that we carry out on board, there's certain risk assessments we have to follow and checklists. Have you ever thought of buying a boat and start your own business? Have I thought of buying a boat? Yeah, the idea's crossed my mind to buy a boat and start my own business. But at the moment, very happy on board AWOL with the team that we have on board, and we're just growing from strength to strength. And now with the YouTube channel, you know, it's very exciting, and we've had some very positive feedback. So really appreciate all you guys. You guys have been brilliant. You know, I never imagined how quickly the channel would grow and how much of a, you know, an inspiration the channel's been, especially to young people. So I get a lot of messages on social media for people asking me how do I get into the industry, what courses do I have to do. So it's good that it's opened up a whole new world to a lot of people that didn't know the industry actually existed. AWOL owner very supportive of the Super Yacht Captain channel. Yeah, the owner is very supportive of the channel. We really appreciate his input as well. He's been absolutely fantastic just for allowing me to start the YouTube channel, because the super yacht world is a very secretive, you know, industry. But the owner, he only sees it as, you know, for him it's free exposure, it's marketing for the boat because it's a charter boat. So he thinks it's a very positive thing. What length does a yacht need to be respected? I don't know, you guys tell me. So yeah, so after, assuming I pass this next exam, guys, in January, to put it in perspective, AWOL weighs 308 gross tons, so 308, and then the new ticket or the new license I'm getting will be 3,000 gross tons. So my ticket will allow 10 times the size of AWOL, assuming I pass the oral exam. Would you prefer the shadow boat or a bigger boat? You know, it's a difficult question. You know, there's pros and cons to both. The reality is, from a captain's point of view, like from a selfish point of view, a bigger boat, I'll probably earn a higher salary. But I think having a shadow boat will be quite a lot of fun. I just love the idea of the shadow boat. There's not many out there. There's a few, but I think it will open a whole new charter market, to be honest with you. Do you need years experience to be a captain? Yeah, I'd say probably to, you know, from zero to probably being a captain on, say, motor yacht AWOL. I had this conversation with John Wyborn, who is the training director at Blue Water Yachting, and we both agreed, I think, between 8 and 10 years before you could probably captain motor yacht AWOL from scratch. Yeah, so all the training that I've done is all MCA accredited. So it's all MCA, which is the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency, through the UK. So I've done my training at the recognised schools and done all the modules through the MCA system, which the MCA are probably the most recognised maritime organisation in the world, probably alongside the US Coast Guard. Yeah, so basically the way it works through the courses is if you're starting off, you get your yacht master. From there, you then move up. You have to get some sea time. You do a course called the Efficient Deckhand course. You need to hold that for 18 months. you need to fill out what's called a training record book. I think it's over, if I remember correctly, it's quite a long time ago since I've done it. It's probably out I think 18 months as well. And once you complete the training record book, you can send it off to the MCA to see if you become eligible to do what's called your Officer of the Watch. If you are, there's a number of modules you have to do for the Officer of the Watch, and then you sit the oral exam. If you pass the oral exam, they issue you with your OW, what's called your COC, which is your Certificate of Competence. And then from there, you need to do, I believe it's 12 months and a minimum of 12 months and 120 days before you can sit your Master 500 exam, and another 12 months and 120 days to sit your Master 3000 exam. Yeah, AWOL stands for, well, we know it's absent without leave from a military term, but we've made it our own and called it a way of life. If I wasn't working on AWOL, which would be my dream yacht? Now, I'm a huge fan of expedition explorer yachts, and I'd say probably my favorite yacht at the moment will probably be either Ulysses or Andromeda. They're both built by the shipyard, the same shipyard, and they're like very like commercial looking, solid boats. And the reason I like them so much is because they can go anywhere in the world. There's no limitation. They're both ice class. They got the most fun toys on board, and when you go inside, it's like a luxury super yacht. So the exterior looks like almost like a naval military vessel, but on the interior it's like the ultimate in luxury. So that's probably my favorite yacht at the moment. Any limitations for AWOL compared to others? I'm guessing he's talking about range or what the use of the boat. So AWOL, we can sleep up to 12 guests. We probably wouldn't cross the Atlantic in the boat, so I'll probably say that's probably a limitation, is the crossing the Caribbean. So Archie, as previous, you probably watched a video from the beginning, so we will be heading to Pisa for the winter. We'll be very close to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, so looking forward to creating a lot more videos for everybody to enjoy. Yeah, guys, I'm really sorry again. I can't disclose the running costs of AWOL. I've unfortunately. How did AWOL get its name? It was actually AWOL. So basically, what happened? The owner bought the boat, and the boat was delivered in Italy in a place called La Spezia. And he flew to Pisa airport, and Jiv and Barbara had collected him from the airport in the crew car. And they were driving back to the boat, and they were thinking of the name, as all these different names came up. And then I think the owner said, "What about AWOL, a way of life?" And then immediately Barbara and Jiv thought that was a fantastic name, and thumbs up. And it's been, we never looked back. So that's where the name AWOL came from. Okay, guys, there's another common question that people have been asking again. I mentioned it earlier, is what happens if AWOL gets sold? So in an ideal world, the owner would buy a bigger boat and we'll move on to the bigger boats. And if the owner decides not to buy another boat, then we've got two options. If we get the opportunity, we'll stay on board with the new owner, or we'll move to find another job on another boat. Did AWOL ever encounter a tropical sea storm? And if she did, how did she fare? No, we never. We're in the Med. We haven't really encountered any storms. We try to avoid them. We really do monitor our weather forecast pretty closely. Very nice. Thank you very much, Amy. Say hi to your husband for me. Yeah, so the chef cooks for the guests and for the crew. So we're very fortunate that all our meals are cooked for by an award-winning chef. And you know, I never forget that we are very lucky to have a chef on board and have all our meals cooked for us. Have you fixed that scratch yet? Not yet. So we're heading to the shipyard next week, and hopefully then we'll have the damage repaired. Da, da, da. Would you ever captain an electric yacht? Absolutely, absolutely. You know, I think you know, the fossil fuels is slowly going out. There was a statement put out for those of you know that your yachts fed ship. I believe they put a statement out saying by it's like something like 2025 along those lines that all the vessels that they will manufacture will be electric. Any positives or negatives about the bridge layout? Yeah, so what I don't like about the wheelhouse is the angle of the windscreens, because they're long black, long tinted glass. It gets extremely hot in the summer. So I would prefer a bridge where the window kind of comes in rather than going out, so you don't get that extreme heat. Even though we've got air conditioning on board, the glass panels, they become boiling hot. It's like a radiator, so it's absolutely cooking in the wheelhouse in the peak of the summer. Are all crew employed all year round? So Chef James, he's has the opportunity to be employed all year round, but he chooses to be seasonal because he likes to travel in his free time in the winter. And the chase boat captain is only seasonal, but the rest of the crew are full time. I bet your favorite part about Ulysses is the bridge. Yeah, the bridge on Motor Yacht Ulysses and Andromeda is absolutely phenomenal. It's I love the floor to ceiling bridge windows. How close to the Leaning Tower Pisa will be? Very close, within walking distance. So I'm hoping for you guys, I'm gonna get some drone shots of Motor Yacht AWOL with the Leaning Tower of Pisa in the background. So stay tuned for more Captain's Vlog. Okay, guys, we're gonna answer a couple more questions, then we're gonna call it quits for the evening. Is AWOL actually for sale? So in the super yacht industry, you'll probably find that most yachts are for sale. It's quite a usual, a normal thing. Just because a yacht is for sale doesn't necessarily mean it's going to sell very quickly. These things do take a long time. AWOL, in fact, has been for sale for over 18 months. So the reality is that you got to find the right buyer. So when people say, you know, AWOL's for sale, what are you going to do? You know, Lizzie's been for sale, I think, for 8-9 years. It's just that the price is probably a bit high and the owner doesn't really want to sell. But if someone comes along and willing to pay the price, then he'll probably sell it. Which is my favorite port? Ooh. I actually really enjoy Tivat in Montenegro, purely because at the pool that goes over the bay there in Montenegro. So I'll probably say at the moment that's my favorite port, Tivat in Montenegro. My nana likes drinking port. Yeah, so does my brother actually. He's a big port drinker. Yachtmaster Sail is good too. Yeah, so Yachtmaster Sail is good because you can convert it to power, whereas power to sail is a lot more difficult. So if you have got sailing, then that's great. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of sailing vessels. I've never been into sailing, not really my thing. I'm not a huge fan of wind, to be honest. I think a lot of you know that. So of course, to get towards sail and so there are two types of Yachtmaster courses. You can do the Yachtmaster Power or the Yachtmaster Sail. 24-meter boat. Do I need a captain for a 24-meter boat? I would recommend getting a captain for a 24-meter boat for sure. How expensive is your personal monthly data plan, especially doing your YouTube? It's not so expensive actually. We got a SIM card which gives me unlimited data whilst in France, and it costs I think 30 or 40 euros a month. So I can upload as many videos as I like, as long as I'm within 4G range. Does the owner of the yacht need a captain's license? No, he employs me to have a captain's license. He just sits back, relaxes, and drinks his Moscow mules as he likes. So AWOL is predominantly a charter vessel. The cost of yacht masters, I honestly can't tell you. I did my yacht master in 2005. So what's that? That's almost 15 years ago. So I'm sure the prices have changed since then. All right, guys, we're going to call it there. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. Thank you so much for tuning in to the first Super Yacht Captain live stream. As a lot of you know, we've got a new guy that's joined the channel, James Eglington. He's doing Yachts What. He's going to be going to the Fort Lauderdale boat show coming up very soon. So if you see him there, please go and say hello and show him some love. And guys, please, I really appreciate your support. We do have some great new merchandise that's come in, so check out the merchandise on the merch shelf below. And might be doing more streams over the winter. I got a bit more time, so I'll be answering your questions then. All right, guys, so thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Ciao, ciao.